welcome back to PBS. Today I'd like to do an overview of our different compounds that we make and the applications that they are best suited for. Whether that be the different kind of racing they're for, or the different cars which are more suitable for different weights of cars. So at the bottom of our range, I say that the lower performance, the more milder, easier to live with brake pad as far as dust and noises are Protra. So this is great for guys that are doing occasional track days, but not very often. If you were doing, hardcore track days where you had a specific track car, then Pro Race and Up would be better for that. But Pro Track is, good cold bite, easy to live with. It's also great for lighter cars, sort as your Mark 1 MX-5s, anything that's really light. This is, we have guys that use this for racing as well. Obviously, the performance in those cars is completely capable with this Protrac compound because they're very light. So that's what that does. We use this in the rear of a lot of front-wheel drives as well. So if you're going up the levels into more track day and one-make racing, you might have a Pro Race in the front and a Pro Track in the back in front-wheel drives, rear-wheel drives with more balanced in compounds. So that's Pro Track. Then this is our sort of main staple, one of our biggest products, which is Pro Race. This is great for, the majority of things you would use on track and quite spirited racing. One-make race series in the lighter stuff, it's completely fine for that. The only limitations with this is when you're getting into the really heavier, bigger cars like your F80, M3s, M4s, that sort of thing, because they don't have a very big brake pad. This can get to the end of its working window, but anything up to them sort of levels, it's a great fit for a lot of things. It's easy on discs. It's got great feel, great modulation, great stopping power. So yeah, this has been a great product for us. And this box actually is 991. So anyone knows that number who's got an EP3 or an FN2. The brake pad that our business was sort of built on, really, because we started through Civic Cup and it's Hondas. So yeah, that one has been sort of the backbone of our company, really. We sell thousands of sets of these a year. Really popular in the Honda market, also in Renault, all sorts. But yeah, front wheel drive up to, I'd say, 1250, 1300 kilos. Pro Race will do your job on track. Also, we have a lot of guys who run it in race stuff as well. And then into the competition stuff, which is our Pro Comp range. This is where it gets a bit more complicated because we've got more applications, because we didn't want to have another brand for every different kind of Pro Comp, so we put that under. So Pro Comp is split into four main categories. We've got two sprint compounds and two endurance compounds. So we've got Pro Comp S1, Pro Comp S2, and we've got Pro Comp E1 and E2. Pro Comp S1 is the bulk of the pads we stock in Pro Comp. This is what the Civic Cup runs. A lot of the drivers in the TT Cup run S1. Alistair Kellett, Fiesta 240 champion, last year won on the S1 as well. S2 is mainly, we've been using that with Sam Laidlaw in TCR and a few others. That's sort of aimed at that market. And endurance stuff, E1 and E2, they are higher end endurance compounds. The reason for the two of them is that one works better with ABS cars, which is the E1, and the E2 is if you've got more endurance cars, either with motorsport ABS or with pedal boxes. So they're the ones all covered on Pro Comp. Some of the things you should look out for when you're on the website or you're speaking to your dealer, looking at what compound is how heavy is my car. You know what I mean? Like I said before, if you have got cars that are getting up there in weight, you definitely do need something better. So the I'll keep going back to BMW, F80 BMWs. We have lots of customers who run S1 in the front of that because of the lack of size of brake padding. It's a heavy car. It looks like it's got a performance caliper, but it's not actually that big in size. They run S1 in the front. Some run Pro Race in the rear. Some run Pro S1 all around. But that, for me, if you were a spirited driver, Pro Race wouldn't be enough in the front of one of them cars. But then when you go down to the other end, you wouldn't want to put S1 into, say, an MX-5 in a championship where they had a budget tyre that didn't have a lot of grip, because you would just lock up everywhere. So you've got to make sure it's matched. We're always available to help with decisions on that. But if you're occasional track day user, Pro Track is fantastic. The bulk of people will be able to find a product that fits with Pro Race, because it does cover a lot of areas. And then your racing guys in your higher end cars, you got the power's up there and the weight's up there. Something in the Pro Comp range usually will do the business. And like I say, we're always here to help and give you advice. So I hope this video has been informative. And like I say, if you do need any help, just send us an email, give us a call. I don't actually deal with the socials, so if you do send a message through there, it will get to me eventually, and I will then be able to give you the advice that you need. Anyway, see you on the next video. Thank you.